Let me tell you about our newest partner, Mint Mobile. With Mint Mobile, you can drop your expensive cell phone plan without having to sacrifice coverage, speed, or data. They're able to provide such an amazing offer by cutting out the middleman and selling to you directly online. Plans start for as little as $15 a month. $15 a month, guys. That is so unbelievably cheap. And making the switch is incredibly easy. Keep your current phone and phone number and activate your plan in minutes. Remember to support those who help us. Just go to trymintmobile.com/thoseguys to get started. That's trymintmobile.com/thoseguys.
Those guys.
Okay, I think that somebody is breaking into my house and putting pubic hair into my bar of soap. True crime? Is that true crime?
Why would anyone do that?
I don't get it.
You hate.
I'm looking at these hairs and I'm like, I don't know these hairs. True crime. That's definitely true crime.
That is not true crime.
Whatever, you don't know what true crime is.
Those guys.
And we are back, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tyler, let's do a happy death day.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, I am a little late on this one, but I had to do it.
We took some time off.
We did.
Yep.
We did. A little late on this one, so please forgive me, everyone out there. But this week's Happy Death Day is all about Richard Lewis.
Richard Lewis, a pillar of the comedy world, an old-timey comedian that lasted for decades and decades. And that's hard to do as a comedian.
No question about that. To stay relevant in any way, shape, or form over that much time is something that very few people achieve.
Sheriff of Rottingham?
Oh, he's stepping on my dick in
sorry.
In the best way.
But I mean, just a classic.
The best way.
He was incredible. Oh, was he the sheriff? No, he was the king.
He was the king. Sure. So he died a couple weeks ago, and we haven't had the opportunity to discuss it. But this is a man, as you said, who has been on film and TV over the course of decades. And I think at this point, people will know him basically. The majority of people, especially the younger generation, will know him from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
And he did that up to his last days, like literally his last days. He was filming that show, which is in its last season.
Yeah, and what's the
Larry David?
And he and Larry David were best friends. Larry David spoke obviously on his death and said we were born 3 days apart. We were born in the same hospital.
We went to school together.
We've been best friends since we were young. They've been best friends over a lifetime. And so, my favorite role, as you just alluded to, will forever be Prince John from Robin Hood Men in Tights. And he started doing improv in his early 20s in the New York circuit. And by 23, he had celebrities coming to watch him. People like Bette Midler and Steve Allen who would come just to see him.
Awesome.
Yeah, he even said Steve Allen, after a show, pulled him aside and just said 3 words to him. You've got it. And he said, that really gave me the inspiration to keep going.
I don't know Steve Allen. I know the name. I don't know Steve Allen.
He was a comedian and whatnot back in the black and white days, and he was the very first talk show host on TV.
Okay.
He preceded everybody.
Well, what I loved about Richard Lewis is his neurotic, insane, rambling sense of humor that just hit with me. Yeah. My favorite thing that he's ever done, and this is extremely niche, the podcast that you and I have listened to forever, he was the arch nemesis of that show. And he would come on that show and just be neurotic and be insane and just destroy everything that was going on the moment that he checked in. And he was fantastic.
Yeah, he would go on just to talk shit.
Careening. Just careening. You never knew what the fuck was going to come out of his mouth, and it was comedy gold.
Yeah, and then they would try to get him on for a long span of time, and he would just refuse, but he would call in to leave voicemails to let you know that he refused so that they could play it on the air. It was, the entire thing was perfection.
He was fantastic. And when he passed away, they did this show has been on for 20 years. They did in remembrance of all the times that he had been on, and it was like a 10-minute cut, which is something that they never do, and every moment of it was gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he just died at the age of 76 from a heart attack.
So, and that's a good run, especially as a comedian who are known, I mean, look at us, known for having darkness of the soul, which is where comedy comes from. That's a good run for anybody.
No question about it. And that's the thing. And 76 still a little young for death, but the legacy that he leaves behind, he has done so much and made so many people laugh, these two guys included. So Richard Lewis, thank you so much for everything you have done.
We salute you, sir.
And a happy death day to you, sir.
All right. Tyler, good job.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, what do you know about the Dunning-Kruger effect?
The Dunning-Kruger effect, it basically comes down to people who are ignorant, who think they know far more than they actually do.
Sure. I'll read word for word here. Cognitive bias in which people with limited competence in a particular domain overestimate their abilities. So just to kind of wrap it up in a nice little package here, the smarter that you are, the more that you understand you don't know shit.
Yep.
Albert Einstein, heard of him?
Yep.
He was one of my all-time favorites of just people who have ever lived, because he's got some murky stuff in his history, as we all do, but this guy who was literally coming up with theories that we still talk about to this day, he was so aware and spoke so often on how much we didn't know, on how insignificant we were in our quest for knowledge.
Yep.
And so
he revolutionized math. Like math, this one thing that is like absolute, and he's
structured.
He's like, no, this isn't how you do it.
Completely wrong, and it's completely relative, and things change when things speed up and slow down, and all of those different things. And are we now in a time where this is more rampant than it's ever been?
Yes, I would say so. Through the advent of technology, the internet specifically, people enter into their own echo chambers unlike ever before. And then they just bolster each other to believe these things. And now we've gotten to a point, and people have always been like this,
sure,
where people don't want to acknowledge facts or change their mind, because acknowledging that you're wrong and changing your mind is hard.
Deadly.
It's a hard thing to do.
I would rather eat human brains.
And at least with that, you've got some time before you die.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that you don't want to admit that you're wrong, because the human brain is programmed to tell itself, no, I'm not wrong. So it's a challenging thing to do, but it's just made so much worse through the technology that we have at our fingertips.
It really is. And I'll take it to the world of sports. The idea of us looking at, let's say, a football coach who lost a game on Sunday and being like, you fucking idiot, how could you do X, Y, and Z? The idea that never pops into your head is, this guy has so much more information on this one subject than you will ever have in your life. He's committed his life to this thing, and you're going to tell him on your couch with Cheetos in your belly button, you're going to tell him what he should or shouldn't be doing?
Oh, yeah.
Is the dumbest shit ever, and we're all guilty of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's a really famous photo online that pops up all the time about a gold medalist winning sharpshooter.
I know
with a handgun.
Yes.
And she's sitting there aiming, holding it with one hand.
Looks cool as shit.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And somebody writes in there, you shouldn't hold it with one hand. You're telling a gold medalist how to hold a gun.
Yeah, oh, you know what? I got to go back to the drawing board. I didn't realize Freak 69 is thinking that I need to fix this up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Dunning and Kruger are the two scientists that came up with this theory, or whatever the particular science word is. And this is what Dunning said. And this was, let me see if I have the numbers right, back in the day. This is what he said. What's curious is that in many cases, incompetence does not leave people disoriented, perplexed, or cautious. Instead, the incompetent are often blessed with an inappropriate confidence, buoyed by something that feels to them like knowledge. If that is not prevalent of what we're living through today, I don't know what is.
That sounds about right.
And that's it. Dunning-Kruger effect. Use that on people at your next Thanksgiving dinner. Throw that in your dad's face when he's telling you how to hold a gun. Hopefully not at that moment.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not showing you with the gun in his hand.
Put the gun down and then tell him about Dunning-Kruger.
Look down this barrel. You see how straight I'm holding it?
Everything that we've talked about on this show, Tyler, leads me to believe that we are coming to the end of times. Is that possible?
It's always possible. Yeah, it's something's got to give. Hopefully it's not the human species.
I'm moving to Switzerland, Tyler.
What are they going to do?
Feed me chocolate and keep me happy.
Oh, another socialist trying to move to another country and feed off their system.
All right, I'll stay. Let's take a break. We'll do a couple more things and then we'll get the fuck out of here.
Hey everyone. If you're anything like us, you've struggled with depression, anxiety, isolation, or any number of things that hold you back in life.
Or do you procrastinate a little too much? Maybe you've had trouble with self-control or even just going through a tough time. Regardless of whatever it is you're going through, therapy can help.
For me, Ryan, it's completely changed the way I deal with my problems. Even the relationship with my own thoughts have improved dramatically.
And that's why we're excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp.
BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And this is so important to us because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area.
BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you up to a professional therapist in as little as a few days.
It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. Go to betterhelp.com/thoseguys or click on the link in the show's description. Clicking on that link not only supports us, but supports you.
And we want to support you too by giving you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp to connect with a therapist and see if it helps you.
Finding the right therapist is so important, someone that you really connect with, and BetterHelp has made that easier than ever. Switching therapists until you find the right one without having to worry about insurance or any additional fees.
You know, Tyler, when I first had my son, I felt so many emotions that I had never experienced in my life. Therapy really helped me figure out what was going on.
Well, that is betterhelp.com/thoseguys. Help the show by supporting the people that help us.
Those guys.
You like the juice, eh?
Yeah, you know.
The juice is good, eh?
You hate.
I get you more juice.
Those guys you hate.
And we are back, Tyler. How was that break for you?
Pretty good. I got a lot of stuff done.
Yeah,
you know?
did. You did. You're a multitasker, and I appreciate that. Yep. Welcome back to the show, and welcome to Miami. Speaking of the end of civilization, welcome to Miami. Tyler, what is welcome to Miami?
It's a way for Ryan to rant about Miami and warn all of you why you shouldn't come down here.
Am I ever wrong?
No.
Have I ever once been wrong about this?
No, not really.
This one is going to spark something inside of you. And not me as much because I'm probably one of the people that's doing it. You tell me you are going to acknowledge this the moment that I say it. I'm asking you, is this happening in other parts of the country? Traffic, Tyler. Heard of it?
Yeah.
It's bad, bro.
Yeah.
It is so bad right now. I was driving to work the other day and I was on a highway that was getting onto another highway and you could see like 4 highways all converging and the amount of cars that were out there were just staggering.
Yeah.
It just seemed impossible to sustain. So here's my question. People waiting till the last second to get onto the exit. So just cutting everybody, being in the lane that they're not supposed to be in, and then at the very end, cutting back in.
Yeah.
You ever seen that before?
All the time.
I do it.
It is a plague, and I was going to say, I've seen you do it.
I try to not do it in a way that is like super fucked up. I try to do it
only lightly fucked up.
I try to wait till the last second, but I don't want to be one of these people that will, nobody will let you in because you're an asshole, that will slowly drive in the other lane that is not backed up, that is an open lane on a highway where people are supposed to be flying, and they are driving slowly long enough until somebody will let them in.
Yeah.
That happens I will not do that. I will not do that. That's fucked up and deadly. I love my life. Is that happening all over the country? Is that happening in Iowa? Is that happening in Wisconsin?
My guess would be it's happening where the traffic is the worst. So I would think that happens in New York, it happens in LA, it happens in places like that.
My question is there any big town city that they still have some type of social hierarchy where they're like, we're not going to do that? And I'm asking a question that you're not going to know.
I have no way of knowing that.
But this has to be the worst. Miami has to be the worst.
I believe it's been rated the worst place for traffic in the country now. I think we beat everybody out.
If it is not in your area of the world yet, it's coming. Miami is the future of the world.
How do you figure that?
Because
of the traffic situation?
I didn't think you were going to have any follow-ups there, Tyler.
Coming for you, Ohio.
Welcome to Miami. Everybody wants to be in Miami, so I would assume that our social construct is spreading outwards, not unlike our fake asses, Tyler. I don't have answers to all of these things.
Neither do I. But you keep asking me.
That's your job here, Tyler, to be the smart one. But what I do have is mail. So let's do You Got Mail. Thank you, Drucifer.
Thank you, Drucifer. So for this, You've Got Mail. We've got a very...
Open it up.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and open it up. It's just a quick video. It finally happened, Ryan.
Oh, man. I know.
It finally happened.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tell the people what it is you're watching.
Should I set it up so we could hear it on the...
Yeah, I could just set it up on our...
Madonna, another one who's been doing it generations. Madonna is at a concert. She's feeling frisky, as she is one to do.
As she is loud.
And she sees a fan that is sitting down.
Got it right here.
What are you doing sitting down over there? What are you doing sitting down?
She's kind of nice about it. Oh, she gets up. She's walking towards the fan. She's going to...
Oh, okay. Politically incorrect. Sorry about that.
Politically incorrect.
She tucks her tail and she walks away. Now, Tyler, why did she decide to call off the dogs because this person was sitting down?
Well, first of all, how dare you call out somebody for sitting down? If somebody wants to sit and they paid it for a ticket for your show, you let them sit.
But I will say that that's a very common thing. You're trying to, as an entertainer, you're in control of the energy in that room. Somebody sitting down, checking their email. Not a good vibe for your show.
Well, and what if somebody's having some kind of medical situation where they need to sit down?
I'm having a medical situation.
They need to rest.
Okay.
This person was in a wheelchair. In a wheelchair, Ryan.
So get those. What are those crutches that go up under your arm that those shit look cool, man.
Really?
They do look kind of cool.
Really?
Oh, you think that they don't look cool? You're saying that people who wear those arm things look shitty?
Put me in a real bad spot, Ryan.
I will say again, they look cool as hell.
Yeah, no, they're stupid. Yeah, she called him out.
Marked.
And that was so dumb. And then she turns around and she goes, "Oh, politically incorrect," and brushes it off.
It is a weird thing to say there.
Fuck you.
As opposed to just saying like, "Oh, I made a mistake."
Yeah.
We really tried to get Jared Leto on this, but we'll settle for Madonna.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. She could have easily walked over to the corner of the stage and be like, "Oh, cripple."
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, are we allowed to say cripple still?
I'm not sure in that context.
Is that a gray area?
We're fine.
No,
So,
in all seriousness, this person's in a wheelchair. Acknowledge your mistake.
Yeah. Well, what do you do? What would be the appropriate thing for her
You
to say?
start laughing at yourself. You say what just happened.
I think that's
you know how hilarious that would have been to the crowd?
Dunning-Kruger effect, Tyler. She doesn't want to admit to being wrong. I think that that's true of most people.
Or just ego. Pure, unfiltered ego.
But isn't that what the Dunning-Kruger effect is? That's your ego taking over your sensibilities?
Or just ignorance. It could just be ignorance, where you don't know the extent of the knowledge of this one subject, and the little bit that you have, you assume that that's the majority of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very embarrassing for Madonna. Made herself look like a bit of a fool.
Just a bit.
And yeah.
Yeah. So good job, everyone.
That's You Got Mail.
That's You Got Mail.
Fantastic.
Don't yell at people in wheelchairs. I mean, there's another PSA for your ASS.
What if the person in a wheelchair is being a dick?
Oh, then you get to yell at them not for being in a wheelchair, but for being a dick.
What if a woman hits you first? Can you hit her back?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, Tyler.
What?
You're an emotional cripple.
You're saying you're not. Well, yes, and you're saying you're not allowed to defend yourself.
It's a gray area. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm also not saying that you should, because I'm worried about the repercussions of that.
Yeah.
I have one last question for you, and then we're going to do the moral of the story, and we're going to sail off into the sunset.
All right.
I find the last 45 minutes of a book to be the hardest part to listen to. I find the last episode of a show that I love to be hard to watch. I still, to this day, have never seen the last Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Honestly, worst one.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the one where they go back in time and they're like an actual, not that the characters go back in time, but they set the story up for
Spoiler, Tyler. I was saving that.
No, you weren't.
I'll never watch it.
Yeah.
I don't want it to end. I liked it.
Yeah. So
Diagnose me. What's going on with that? Do I have problems with closure? What's going on?
that's exactly what it is. I suffer from the exact same
Is that true?
thing.
Is this a normal thing?
It's a common thing,
about
sure.
that?
Yeah, it just depends on what traumas you went through. It is where you don't want things to end. The ending of things is painful.
Even
for
if it's
you.
a good ending, I just don't want to be part of it. I want it to be an open book in my mind.
That's exactly right. There are so many different things that I just haven't finished because I don't want them to end.
So I read Ready Player One, which was very good. I was down to the very end, which was a killer. You had mentioned on the show that it had a great ending to it, and it very much did. And I kind of put together what you were talking about, how it ended with a very specific message. I could see how they could go back on that because you need something for number 2.
Yeah, it was number 2.
I didn't want to listen to the end of that book, and I finally did, and it was excellent.
I'm glad
Yes.
you did.
I also read The Silent Patient. Have you ever heard of that? Very much recommended. Very
Nice.
good. All right, Tyler, great job. Please tell people how they can reach out and not listen to the end of this show.
Gotcha. Go to thoseguysyouhate.com, or you can find us on YouTube and Instagram at thoseguys_you_hate.
Beautiful.
And on TikTok at thoseguys_you_hate. All one word.
I love it. Tyler, what is the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is don't yell at handicapped people. And on top of it,
What if they hit you first?
I'll go, then you hit them back.
You flip them.
What if it's a handicapped woman? Do you hit them back if they hit you first?
I think those cancel each other out. You beat that bitch.
Oh, good. With their own wheelchair. That's right.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah. So I would just say, don't yell at people if they're not getting in the way of things, if they're just trying to have a good time and they're
if you go to a concert, stand up.
get the
Even
hell
if you're handicapped.
out of it. Praise Jesus, it's a miracle.
I told her to get her in this tent. We did it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that person was just there minding their own business. And what you said earlier about, hey, they're messing with the vibe of the situation.
I didn't say that.
There are no, not about the person in the wheelchair. I mean about somebody just sitting down who just wants to sit down. They're going to mess with the vibe of it's the performer's job to get everybody hyped up.
To get people wrapped up in the energy.
It is a stadium with thousands of people. 1 or 2 people sitting down is not going to ruin the vibe.
Tell me that you've never been a rock star without telling me you've never been a rock star.
I've
Tyler.
never been a rock
I've
star.
been a rock star. And you handicapped people, get up.
Yeah. So you sold out auditoriums.
You know what we need to start doing is, what do they call those puppets that hang from the strings?
Marionettes?
We need to get a couple of those set up whenever there's a concert, just in case something like this happens.
For the handicapped person or for Madonna?
you give them.
Ah!
we have fun around here. You know what I mean?
Ryan, what's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is, I'm going to zig where you zag, Tyler. Be smart enough to know that you don't know everything. You and I have discussed this a billion times on this show before. The idea of not knowing everything, the idea of, hey, I might be wrong about some things, is a beautiful and a powerful artifact that you could install into your life today. That Tyler, you and I both grew up as fucking know-it-alls. This show is built on a cornerstone of knowing a bunch of dumb shit. And as time has gone on, you and I have realized more and more we don't know anything. And I think that has been a glowing addition to our personality.
Yeah. Something that I think about all the time is that these senses that we use to move throughout the universe, they're amazing and they let us learn so much. They are so ill-equipped to understand even the tiniest sliver of what actual information is out there.
Our drink hole and our breathe hole are the same hole. Who fucking did that?
That's true. That was a bit of a design flaw.
What is going on?
Someone
with that?
was drunk.
Have you ever heard of gills?
I have.
Yes.
They sound fun.
But my point is that the most intelligent, the most well-adjusted people know that they have huge holes in their games, that they don't know everything. Even if it's been your career for 30 years, there's always something that you could learn. There's always something about relationships that you could sharpen. There's always these little things that make us better people, and it's time as a species to tap into that.
Yeah. Agreed. That was very well said.
We're those guys you hate.
Be kind or we'll kill you.
Well.
All right. Red circle.
Red circle.
Red circle.
Yeah. What's up, Tyler? How are you, buddy?
Not much, man.
I need more energy.
All right.
What's up, Tyler? How are you, bro?
Why'd you go frat boy?
Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. I don't know. Good question.
That was like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure kind of line.
Did you ever want to be a frat boy?
No.
Okay, well then me
No.
neither.
I never wanted to join a fraternity in any way. They look so
sorority.
They look so, maybe.
I don't want to do the hazing, but I feel like a frat might be fun.
Yeah. I always want to do that thing that the sororities do, where they get in the doorway and they all just line up, just their heads in their hands, and then they open the door and they go and they do speared fingers.
What is it?
You've never seen that before?
No.
When they introduce, the newcomers into their sorority, all the sorority members, they get in front of the double doors right behind it, and they line up so all their heads are pushed like right next to each other.
Okay.
And then they stick their hands out, so when they open the doors, it's just heads and hands, and everybody's woo!
We can review Human Centipede fraternity edition.
Well, they're sewn together at the shoulder.
Oh, I dig that. I dig that.
Yeah.
You know what I always wanted to do from like the old 1980s college movies? I always wanted to go on and I'm sure this has been canceled long ago. I always wanted to go on a good old fashioned panty raid.
That's definitely been canceled.
Has that been canceled?
That's kind of fucked up.
We can't do anything anymore. I can't take your unmentionables and mention them. What is left?
I mean, how would you like it if somebody broke into your home, took your underwear, and then ran through the college campus just waving it over their head?
Do you get them back?
You probably don't want them back.
What is the purpose of that? Do you smell them?
I mean, you have to at that point.
Well, if I'm going to jail, I might as well.
I mean, you might as well get the full experience.
Yeah. I love that. All right, so Tyler, let's get into it. We got serious business to attend to here. Over this last week, it's been a while since we've done this, it feels like. It feels like forever since we've recorded.
I know. We take 1 week off, and we didn't even take a week off. We did a therapy episode.
A kook alert, which I got some good responses from. I heard people say, oh, man, it was so free-flowing, and you guys were just talking. It sounds like it wasn't planned out. And I said, it wasn't.
It certainly wasn't.
Yeah,
we were looking for the laziest way possible while also trying to help society.
Well, we were passing on our own personal experiences, so it was helpful.
I was just kidding.
What I heard a lot from a couple people, all of them men, they said, hey, I saw you on TikTok wearing that hat. What are you looking at, Tyler? What are you keep glancing back at something. What's going on?
I'm making sure that the news story that I'm going to talk about in a little bit is pulled up on the front page.
Okay, cool.
And how did they relay to you that they saw you in the hat?
Two separate people gave me exactly the same thing. Two people that I care about. They looked at me and they're like, you don't got to do that, man. It was so funny, as if I was like, imprisoned, and they made me put the hat on, and I'm like just doing it for clicks, and they're like you're better than that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. And I told them, I love that shit.
I was gonna say,
I'm doing it for me.
They weren't aware that you enjoyed every second of it.
I love it. I didn't lose some sort of bet. This was my idea. I saw that hat, and I'm like, fuck it. You wait until they see me in that puppy mask.
Boy, oh boy, the $700 puppy mask.
Sure, that comes with the pecs.
Sure. Yeah. That's Ryan. That's right. And as we say, I'm the homosexual and he's the gay one.
I know.
He's you know.
I never had the balls to fully live out my homosexual
desires.
Yeah, what's it called where something is set into, it's written into the book of life and you're just fate. It was my fate. And I just was too weak-willed to your knowledge, take the D. And so I have to live it out here in front of everybody's eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If I wasn't gay, why would I be wearing this hat?
Why would I be wearing these hats? Yeah, so I love it. I love getting dressed up like that. And maybe it seems like a shameless way to get clicks. I don't know if it is even to get clicks.
No, it's a shameless way to put your homosexuality out there.
Thank you.
And pretend that you're not actually gay.
I'm doing this for you guys.
Yeah.
Because it feels so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I love it. I truly love it. I like it, not even just in the homosexual stuff. I like getting dressed up. It's funny to see myself in that shit.
Sure. I mean, like,
but more the gay stuff.
Doing it in front of people that I know, a little difficult for me. Doing it in front of millions of strangers online, love it.
Well, you don't get any immediate reaction,
Yep.
which is exactly what I'm looking for.
Yep. I want people to sneak up on me and be like, I saw you in that gay hat.
No. Do I need to do it? Do I need to? All right, let's play this game. We got to find some sort of imaging here because this happens a lot on this show. What do we call it when I get some little smidgen of pop culture and I know nothing about it, and then I ask you, and very often you have a lot of the information. What will we call that? We're just spitballing here.
Boy, you're really putting me on the spot. I don't know. What does Tyler know? Because you just hit me with these questions.
But you're an informed man. You know stuff.
Well, the majority of my information I get just from perusing Reddit.
Which always has the topic du jour on there, does it not?
I've since quit Reddit, so I'm going to be lacking in information.
Tyler.
Yeah. Trying to get away from bad addictions.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the side effect of that is I am less informed.
The issue here with that is I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
I'm already completely uninformed because I don't like perusing the social meds, as the kids are calling it.
Nobody's calling it that.
Do you know anything about what's going on with Kate Middleton?
That one I do know.
Okay.
That one's interesting to me.
It is interesting.
I don't give a shit about the Royals, but I
No.
love a good conspiracy theory.
Are they all just deep fakes? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, or just edited.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is going on with Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Essex? I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's the Princess of Wales, I think is her title.
She definitely is on land, Tyler.
Gotcha.
That is, you're mistaken about that.
So she's in the hospital.
Do we know that to be a fact?
Well, she went to the hospital, but
Okay.
but the reason why wasn't disclosed because privacy.
But this was like back in like December or something, right? Or in January?
Something like that.
Okay.
It's been a little bit.
Okay.
It's been a little bit. And so people are like asking, like, where is she? What's the deal? How come we're not getting any photos of her?
We haven't seen her in months.
Yep.
Truly.
Yep. It's like, Miscavige's, what's his name? David
Miscavige,
Miscavige's wife, you know?
Scientology leader extraordinaire.
And his wife just disappeared. Where is she, David?
Get her back, you son of a bitch!
Where is she?
That hurts when I scream like that.
You scream like that a lot.
All the time. What's up with that? All right.
Need for attention, I guess. Not hugged enough as a child.
Or too much. Yeah. Miss you, Garrett.
So she went to, that's his Boy Scout leader,
youth leader Garrett.
That touched him inappropriately. Everybody needs to know the characters on this show.
I would not have been dressed that way if I didn't want it.
Yeah, we should. Oh, with the little ascot. You
Sure.
know, yeah, tan shirt.
Oh, I bet you're wondering why I've asked you here, Garrett.
This is my tent. So she went to the hospital and people were asking what's up, and they kept downplaying it, saying like, no, she's fine. She went in for like a stomach thing or whatever it was.
Brazilian butt lift?
And then I highly doubt
There's
it.
a chance.
I mean,
That's one of the theories that have been floated.
What?
Yeah.
No.
BBL.
No, you're making that up.
100 week in review Brazilian butt lift.
You can't hide that.
For a whale.
You can't hide that.
Sure.
So they released this photo of her and her kids, and then all the newspapers, all the mainstream media, they put it out, and then there were some discrepancies that were found in it.
The internet is a son of a bitch, bro.
Yeah.
The internet has no chill.
Yeah.
They fucking swooped in there and there were like 16 things inside the picture that proved that it was photoshopped.
It was enough for the news organizations to retract the image saying, we have found some discrepancies. We can't leave this up.
And so the royal family or whoever is in charge of that.
Worst PR team ever.
Tell me what happened then.
Oh, she was just playing around with editing. She wants to get into editing.
So we're saying to you, we need proof of life.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a hostage, like send me a warm finger.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
it wouldn't be warm by the time it got to you.
Well,
unless you used one of those Domino's cars
yeah,
that had the oven in it.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking. We're a drone. Must get on this.
We need a finger carrier.
So we're saying. So we're saying we need proof of life. We're very worried about her. And so you send us a doctored photo on purpose.
That is correct.
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
That's correct.
That's like you're pushing the conspiracy theory forward. If she is okay, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
And then when brought to them this information, instead of being honest or anything like that, it's like, well, she found a hobby. And it's like, what the fuck are you? We're trying to make sure she's alive, and you're telling us she found a hobby.
Well, listen, we're being honest about lying. So
Yeah,
how could you not believe us?
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. So what do you think? Obviously, now we're just bullshitting here. What do you think that signifies? I will say this: royal family maybe have killed some people before.
Possibly, but I don't think that she's been killed. That'd be pretty serious.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't know.
Well, the conspiracy. The thought is that she has undergone some serious medical treatment for something truly terrible.
Brazilian butt lift?
And no.
Yeah, there's nothing terrible about that.
No. I'm not going to let you talk me off
Do
of
you
this
like
hill.
a Brazilian butt lift?
I mean, I like proportional.
You like it done tastefully?
I like proportional. So if something is unproportional, it just doesn't work. Back to Kate. So the thought is maybe she is in the hospital for something very severe. That's the thought.
Well,
process.
and we hope that's not the case. She seems like a nice woman. Of the very little that I know about her, she seems like a very.
I mean, I could do without all the attention seeking. Like
her.
Good. Well, just that her and what's her face's husband. Henry, or I don't know.
No, Kate Middleton is she's next in line to be the queen, not Meghan Markle.
Oh,
and,
I was
and
thinking of
Harry.
Meghan Markle. Excuse me.
No, this is the one.
Forgive me.
Who's with Princess Di's kid, and she seems like a class act, but I know very little about all this.
I don't know anything about.
Yeah. Now, what do you with these? And I'm switching streams here. Mm-hmm. With all these, does the rest of the country have all of these fake butts like Miami does? Where it looks like some of these women are wearing diapers that are full?
No, well, if you're going to wear a diaper, it better be full.
I would disagree, Tyler.
No, I don't think the rest of the country does
There
this.
is cartoonish fake butts down here that is it's akin to like the early breast implants where they look like they were mad at each other.
Yeah,
no body shaming. Just saying.
Sure.
This is a hypothetical person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been getting more and more extreme as time goes on, where people just have to keep outdoing each other, and it gets to a point. And there's a lot of body dysmorphia.
I was just about to say, there's some serious body dysmorphia where you look at somebody and you're like, this is. I want to stay away from the term freakish, but this is not a natural thing.
Yeah.
I think even if you get breast implants, go for something that could be real, could not be real. You know what I mean?
I mean, do whatever you want. It's your body. Be happy.
Agreed.
But I agree with you where sometimes it gets to be so outrageous or away from the norm that you can't stop and look and wonder to yourself, like, is this person going through some serious shit?
Yeah. It's like the people who have just undergone plastic surgery over and over and over again. And if that's the way that you want to look, I support you and I love you nonetheless. But also, to me, it signifies somebody who's, been through some serious shit.
Yeah, I would request that person maybe look deep down and ask themselves why they feel the need to keep changing their body again and again and again.
You don't think there's any chance you will ever do any type of surgery like that?
I mean, from where I stand now, absolutely not.
What about a scrotum lift when it starts touching the toilet water?
Only if we get better at it as we have with boob implants, I want the scrotum uplifting equivalent of the 2020 boob implant because it's just gotten perfect now.
Like a men's vajazzle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We can review. Mm-hmm. We're going to see if we could find Tyler a good doctor.
Did you hear about the Boeing whistleblower by any chance?
Vaguely, I do know that John Oliver just did a whole episode on Boeing, which I would be very interested to see.
Yeah.
But I know Boeing, who was at one point the tippy whippy top of safety regulations in the airplane industry, is now on the opposite side of that. Capitalism is coming for each and every one of us until we're all dead. And so what, somebody has come out from inside and gave up the goods?
During Trump's presidency, he walked back necessary safety
Laws.
for Boeing. And so they said, basically saying you can police yourselves, you run your own, situation, whatever it might be. And now we're seeing a host of issues, from doors flying off to, just crazy shit.
It just seems to be picking up speed.
Yeah.
Every week there is something that would be a tragedy, like something that should echo into the distance, but not unlike school shootings. They're all coming at us so fast, it's hard to mourn one before another door flies off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there was an engineer there, a safety, he was like a safety expert. So I don't know his actual title. And he worked there for 32 years.
Okay.
32 years this man worked.
Substantial?
For that company. Substantial. That's his career.
Sure.
And he worked there for 32 years and he oversaw the safety of this thing. And over the last, 4, 5, 6 years, he has seen it just plummet. And
No pun intended.
And this is his livelihood.
Of course.
And
Well, and you assume he's a decent human being that cares about other people's lives.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that factors in.
And he is seeing this his life's work take a dive. And so
No pun intended.
He went to Congress and he started to whistleblow. He went in for questioning for Boeing's lawyers day one, and then went through questioning with his own lawyers. And then Congress was going to bring him back to give answers and question him and find out the dirty details of this. Found dead in his car with a gun in his lap in front of a bar. They Epsteined him, it seems like. Yeah.
And wait a minute. So how long? We are living in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yep.
This is George Orwell. Come get me, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, they killed him.
That-
Seemingly, allegedly.
That's Tyler who said that. I believe that he died. He killed himself.
Natural causes.
It's very. It's that nighttime cancer.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You
That's
sneeze
right.
and then all of a sudden you're dead.
Yeah.
That is crazy, and we're not unlike Epstein. We're at the point where they just don't give a fuck.
Nope.
Don't give a rat's ass.
Nope.
Yeah, we did it. We killed him. Come get us.
And it's a warning to all other whistleblowers. We'll kill you. It really breaks my heart. It's hard to do the right thing.
Is there any way to come back from where we are now, just in a general sense? And this is a comedy-tainment podcast.
Yeah, we can have serious
Make
conversations.
me feel better, Tyler.
No.
Make me feel better about this.
I think there is a way to come back. However, it's not going to be pretty. The way that we come back is having a severe cataclysmic event and then picking up the pieces afterwards. But in terms of going back to where we were in the 50s economic-wise, no.
Artificial intelligence will save us.
I'm sure.
Number one.
Yeah.
And number two.
ChatGPT 5.0 is about to be released.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I forgot about everything you just said, Tyler. I cannot wait to see that. It just goes back to this conversation, this thing that we always talk about. It just might be the way that humans rise and fall, like the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire.
Absolutely.
The only one that's hanging in there is China, and they seem happy. But
China's got problems of their own.
Why? What's going on with China?
China, they did the one-child policy for so long, and
I know.
In the long run, totally fucked with their economy.
Well, and then they tried to do get other people to have more kids,
Yeah.
and they're like, nah, I'm good.
we're good.
There's no good news out there, bro.
Yeah.
We're in serious trouble.
And it's all cyclical. I mean, these empires, they rise and they fall. The only way to break it, and I'm obviously guessing, is technology becomes so advanced that
it takes the power out of our hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then why would they need us? We're powerless. What the fuck would be the point of keeping us around? Matrix, baby.
Okay. Well,
that
I'm
was
cheered
depressing.
up. I'm ready to go.
You feeling goofy? You
feeling
feeling wild?
loose, bro.
Yeah.
I'm feeling loose. I'm not on a molesty level, but I am feeling good.
A molesty level?
Yeah. On the last one we did, I said
Yeah.
molesty a lot.
No,
that
no,
was a sign of the times.
I know.
All right, Tyler, let's get molesty. Let's do the show.